A lot of great-looking faces. Am I correct? Everybody's on, right? If you are, wave. If you're not, just you can leave and go have turkey. Good. I think everyone's waving. Thank you very much. And I'm honored to speak with so many incredible members of the U.S. military and to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. Before we begin, I want to express the anguish and the horror of our entire nation at the terrorist attack yesterday in our nation's capital, in which a savage monster gunned down 2 service members in the West Virginia National Guard who were deployed as part of the DC.
So, what do I think about President Trump? I despise this man. I think he's a good con artist. He swindled the American people, but he's the most corrupt person we've had in office. His policies are disastrous. He doesn't have any coherent plan. He's very impulsive, very easily swayed, has a very outdated view of the world, to say the least. He's not a very smart guy. Like, tariffs, he knows they're attack. He should know that they're attacks. He may very well not actually understand that. And that's also very scary. Yeah, I just think almost none of his policies are panning out well. I would probably disagree in that he's, like, what, third positionist, like socialism, but only for a certain in-group. I think he would be more in favor of better, like, healthcare plans. It would actually be motivated to come up with a healthcare plan rather than taking the position of, I guess, just punishing our companies for the way that the pharmaceutical market is shaken out and not really regulating it, just forcing price controls, which is looking at a broken system and then putting a band-aid on the very end of it when the real problems lie pretty much up and down the chain. But that's hard work. He doesn't want to do any hard work. That's why his foreign policy of just end the war, just end the war. I don't care how it ends, just end the war. Trying to rush these peace deals that will not hold. Like in Gaza, we're seeing bombing again. Lebanon's being bombed. There's more peace talks between some more African countries that are at war. The Russia-Ukraine stuff, like, there's no effort being put in for a just peace. We've abandoned our ally, someone who we promised we'd protect. And all these plans are just trying to basically strong-arm Ukraine into accepting a surrender, which is, it's not like a just peace. It's not a peace that'll hold. That's not, it's lazy, really. The path of least resistance all the way down.
DC task force, which has done such an incredible job. I mean, until yesterday, we literally had no incidents for many months. It was the safest place imaginable, and this is a different kind of crime. This is a really bad crime. Millions of Americans are praying for those heroes and their families, and I must unfortunately tell you that just seconds before I went on, right now, I heard that Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June of 2023, outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. It's just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department. That's horrible. As you know, the other young man is fighting for his life. He's in very bad shape. He's fighting for his life, and
I
hopefully
think he's still hanging on.
we'll get better news with respect to him. And the monster that did this is also in serious condition. But we won't even talk about him. As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national flown here by the previous administration, who was such a bad administration. And I have a picture of a plane. This is what it looked like when they came in. It was
Bro. He printed out a fucking email attack. No, it's a tweet. Wait. He folded it back so he's taking out the header of the tweet, but you can still see the likes and shit on the bottom. Oh my. Holy shit. Are you serious? A screenshot of a tweet on printer paper, and this is our evidence that Operation Allies Welcome, I think it was called, was a terrible plan. A terrible plan, and that the people from Afghanistan are all bad because they're huddled in a plane?
It was total bedlam. Do you remember that period of time? Total bedlam. People crammed onto the plane.
Oh my
and the toughest, meanest, most capable physically got on the plane. Not the people that we were looking for or that they wanted to bring in.
Well, hey, if you ever need me to clarify something, just let me know. It's not about education necessarily. I don't know. I've been working on spicing up my speech. I don't know.
And here's a picture for you. Just take a look at that plane. Standing on top of each other and sitting on top of each other. This is what we had under the Biden administration. That whole thing should have never, ever happened. They should have left from a different base. They should have left from Bagram, as you know, and it would have been a much different story. But they didn't do that, and this was just a rout, just a terrible situation. This heinous atrocity reminds us that we have no greater national security priority than ensuring that we have full control over the people that enter and remain.
Another thing, too, is, like, we don't know, the public at least doesn't know much about these people, but their deaths are going to be used as a, what do they say, like a cudgel or a catalyst, maybe, for way stricter immigration policy, which is, like, we don't know, but it, like, it's from the same crowd that'll talk about, like, after a shooting, they're like, whoa, don't make this political. And the first thing they do after something like this is make it political because it suits their ends. It's like it's hypocritical, obviously, but they don't care.
In our country, for the most part, we don't want them. They come in illegally. They have a lot of problems. Their countries force them in because their countries are smart. They don't want them. Let's give them to.
These were our allies. The Taliban doesn't want them. Hello? Like, these are people that have fought alongside us, by the way. Like,
the Americans to take care of. They come out of jails in many cases, mental institutions, they're gang members, they're drug dealers. We don't want them. Many of the service members on this call today are engaged in crucial aspects of that mission. And to each and every one of you, I just want to thank you so much. Incredible people. You make this sacrifice like few others understand. A lot of them don't even understand it. And you're keeping America safe and free. Our military is strong. My first term, I rebuilt our military, all aspects of our military.
nice at this, meeting to talk about the situation, to remember these people. We're going to throw in all the campaign rally stuff. Classy. Every every single event, every time he's got a mic in front of him, he uses it to do essentially a campaign rally. Yeah, it would be embarrassing for literally anybody else, but this man knows no shame.
And in Afghanistan, we actually gave up a big chunk, but relatively, as much as it seemed like it's small compared to what we bought and to what we have and to what we're buying. We're spending over $1 trillion this year on our military. We have a military, the best in the world. We make the best equipment in the world. And we have the best people in the world. So joining us this evening are 6 units deployed across our hemisphere, representing every branch of the United States Armed Forces. First, I want to thank the members of Army's legendary 101st Airborne Division. You know, I've heard about that since I was a little boy. The Screaming Eagles.
I forget how old he was. I always feel like I'm being disingenuous or being too much of like a sneering liberal, but then like he goes and does something even crazier.
Pulling in from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and you're led by Major General David Gardner, a real tough cookie and great general. I appreciate it, General Gardner. The 101st has done an outstanding job leading the task force, joint task force at our southern border. I mean, we have nobody coming in. They're not coming in. Under Biden, they were coming in by the millions. Now we have nobody
billions?
coming in. We have a strong border. Nobody talks.
We went from 15 million to 20 million to 25 million to 30 million to billions.
Talks about it anymore.
Nobody talks about it anymore.
For anything,
shut up
just like
about
you guys
it.
are not giving credit for anything. We do the greatest job, but that's all right. They don't talk about the border anymore because you know why? Nobody comes in. We had 9 months now where we had nobody coming in, zero. And this is being fed. This is the people that do this they tend to be on the left. They'd love to say millions of people came in through Trump, and they actually said nobody came. Even I find that hard to believe, but they literally are saying nobody came in. And I hope people appreciate the job that you've done and the job that we've all done. But we're stopping the invasion of our country. We stopped it cold.
Can't thank you without thanking myself first, of course.
And if you remember, Biden said, I need new legislation. You didn't need legislation. I didn't get.
It's like everything is. I'm pausing so much because there's so much packed into this. Just listen to that soundbite again.
And if you remember, Biden said, I need new legislation. You didn't need legislation. I didn't get legislation. What you needed was a new president.
Okay. There are certain things that the president has discretion over for the military, but for a lot of things, for actually addressing how we go about the border, you would need legislation. You want the whole country on board with it. You don't want that to be just a single branch decision. But the way Trump does it is he goes, does a thing, the courts are like, hey, you can't do that thing. The Supreme Court, which is on his side, says, we'll wait and see. And Congress is just never consulted, because apparently fuck Congress.
So with your help, we now have the most secure border in American history. It's the single most secure border in American history. So I just want to thank you. And the 101st, I want to thank you very much. The job you've done is amazing, working with all of our great people. We also have the men and women of the U.S. Navy serving as part of the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group under Captain Christopher Farraker. And they're on board the USS Iwo Jima in the Caribbean Sea. Working right by their side are members of the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit led by Colonel Tom Trimble. Thank you very much. I think you waved to me because I can see you then. Let's see. There you are, handsome people. They're beautiful looking people. Thank you. Like Central Cat, I could put you in a movie right this second, and the three of you, and I think we'd have a top grossing movie. You don't have people like.
He's such a meme, you're right, but he's also the president. I feel like people forget that.
You in Hollywood. Part of the 22nd MEU is Also serving in Puerto Rico, the 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines, Devil Dogs, led by Major Ross Gilchrist. Where is Major? Where are you? Hello, Major. Another central. Is everybody central casting? It's like they're all handsome, tough guys. I don't know what's going on here. But the Navy Marine Corps team is currently helping to defend our country, protect our interests, and literally decimate terrorists. The job you've done is incredible. I also want to thank you for your amazing work to quickly deliver life-saving aid to Jamaica in the aftermath of the recent hurricane, which was devastating. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Major and everybody. Appreciate it. Next up are the airmen serving with one of the most feared bomber forces in the world, the U.S. Air Force's 7th Bomb Wing at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas under the auspices and leadership of Colonel Seth Spanier. Colonel, where are you, Colonel? Colonel, let's see here. You're right there. Thank you, Colonel. All of you are backbone of America, and you really are the backbone of America's air power. And in recent weeks, you've been working to deter Venezuelan drug traffickers, of which there are many. Of course, there aren't too many coming in by sea anymore, if you probably noticed that. From sending their poisons into the United States, where they kill hundreds of thousands of people a year. But we're going to take care of that situation. We're already doing a lot. We've almost stopped. It's about 85% stopped by sea. You probably noticed that. People aren't wanting to be delivering by sea. And we'll be starting to stop them by land also. The land.
Okay, are we actually going to invade Venezuela, or is he going to tout a peace deal so we can add it to the wars he's ended?
Land is easier. But that's going to start very soon. We warn them, stop sending poison to our country. We also have the 18th Space Defense Squadron at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, headed by Captain Ryan Weber. Captain, where are you, Captain? Thank you very much, Captain. Great job. Every day you maintain American dominance on the high frontier. You're the guardians of one of the most important domains we have to protect, and you make us very, very proud of the job you do, Captain. Thank you. Finally, we have the great men of the Coast Guard, and I have to tell you, there are a lot of women in the Coast Guard now, too, and we're happy about that. United States Coast Guard aboard the Coast Guard cutter.
It's the things that catches attention.
Forrest Rednor, with Lieutenant Commander Alexis Wild. Alexis, where are you? Hi, Alexis. Alexis Wild at the helm. And I'm told that just last month, the Forrest Rednor intercepted a boat with lots and lots of illegal aliens off the coast of California. It was loaded, and then turned them over to the Customs and Border Patrol, and they did it so professionally. The people were very, very impressed with the job you did, Commander, so thank you very much. It was a great job. And thank you for defending our maritime borders with skill and with pride, and the job you do. Amazing. So I want to thank all of you again for your amazing service to our country. God bless our warriors. God bless our heroes from West Virginia National Guard. What a group. I love West Virginia. And I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. We have a country that we can be very proud of. I was with the King of Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Yeah. Internal polling doesn't like me. I know who I'll trust. The King of Saudi Arabia.
And he said, you know, sir, last year you had a country that was a dead country. We thought it was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it's true. And we're
I wonder if he ever thinks, like, it's weird that they're all saying this to me verbatim. I wonder.
going to be having close to $20 trillion invested. That's record-setting by 10 times. Nobody's ever had anything like it. We're building plants. We're building factories, auto factories, AI plants, the whole thing with artificial intelligence. I don't know the word. I've never liked the word artificial. I don't know what artificials are. I think they ought to change the name. I've always said it's a lousy name to have, artificial anything, but it's a big business.
What?
And we're building more. We're leading China by a lot. We're leading everybody by a lot. We make the best military equipment in the world, and they're ordering it at numbers that nobody's ever seen before. But we're doing better than we've ever done before. We have the stock market
This is
just
more
hit for the
rambly
48th
than
time,
usual.
an all-time high
Jesus
during the 9 months that I've
Christ.
been here, a little more than 9 months now. And so we have the hottest stock market ever. That's a big thing for 401ks and all of the millions of people with jobs and 401ks. Everybody participates in that. But it's 48 times in a little bit less than 10 months. 48 times we hit an all-time high. And I think we're going to...
Bro, these stats that they cite, it's like anyone who's ever looked at the S&P 500 graph, not soy, okay, hold on, and get this bit ready. You're witnessing a TikTok made live. All right. Where are we?
Consider that, but it's 48 times 401k, big thing for 401ks and all of the millions of people with jobs and 401ks. Everybody participates in that, but it's 48 times in a little bit less than 10 months. 48 times we hit an all-time high.
Again, yeah, the stock market hitting an all-time high in 48 months just means the economy's not crashing. Like, actually, shouldn't it be hitting new highs pretty much every day? I mean, look, the general trend of the S&P 500, it goes up. It goes up. Like, although he's only able to cite the highs that have started here because he crashed it with his tariffs. Oh my God. Honestly, that's probably not even a good amount relative to others, right?
And I think we're going to continue because when these factories that we're building from all over the world, they're coming because of tariffs. I think because of November 5th, the election result, but because of tariffs. And we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars like we've never done before. And some of that's going to go back in the form of a sort of dividend to our people. But much of it's going to go toward reducing debt. And what it really goes for, and even better than the money we're taking in, is the fact that nobody's attacking our companies and taking them out, stealing them like they've been for many years. Because if they do that, they have to pay a tariff as they make products and sell them into our country. So we made deals with Japan. We made deals with South Korea. We made deals with the European Union, where they pay us hundreds of billions of dollars. And they participate. They're now building plants. Honda is building plants, and they're all every car company from all over the world virtually is building plants now in the United States because they don't want to pay the tariffs. So there's never been anything quite like it. It's been amazing. So we're taking in, think of it, hundreds of billions. Next year it'll be $1 trillion or more. But we're taking in all this money at the same time protecting our country, and we're respected again. They actually respect us. And they made the deals. I mean, they respect us, but they pay us, as an example,
okay.
Japan, $650 billion. South Korea, $350 billion. European Union, $950 billion. And they are building plants now in the United States because they don't want to pay tariffs. So this is one of the biggest things economically that's never happened. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And over the next couple of years, I think we'll substantially be cutting, and maybe cutting out completely, but we'll be cutting income tax.
It's okay. So the tariffs thus far have raised $300 billion in revenue. How much money does the income tax raise, U.S.? $2.4 trillion, which, even with the elevated tariffs, it's not coming in at all. Come on. Okay. Let's just do Q1 96, Q2, 267, 67. Like, it's not going to be enough to replace the income tax. It'll be a lot of money, but I don't know. It would have to double in size to even start to approach the income tax. So,
could be almost completely cutting it because the money we're taking in is going to be so large. And yet, other countries who have been ripping us off for many, many years, and many years they've just been ripping us to shreds. China would take in $600, $700 billion a year, rebuild their military. And now we have a fair deal with China. I
wonder if you can trade on Polymarketer calls you whether or not he'll say 6-7.
Just met with President Xi. We have a great relationship. We have a fair deal. We take in a lot of money in the form of tariffs. But so many, even our friends, I mean, European Union, they're our friends. Japan, they're our friends. South Korea's our friends. They're now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're also paying tariffs to come in. We're not paying tariffs to go in there, by the way. They're paying tariffs, but we're not. So that's a total reversal.
Nothing like extorting your friends, am I right, fellas?
But we are benefiting like they used to benefit against us, but we're benefiting even more. So I just want to thank everybody for making all of this possible. Without you, we don't have any defense, and boy, do we have defense. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. We make, as I said, the best equipment, but we have, more importantly, we have the strongest military anywhere in the world, and you saw that with Iran, with those beautiful B-2 bombers. They totally obliterated the potential nuclear supply of Iran, and they did it in the dark of night.
Again, it's dangerous to say this because it's not true. Like, it is important to say, you could just say, we remain vigilant to see if they start up anything again.
With no moon, no light, no nothing. Early in the morning, they attacked. You couldn't see some of the... And I want to thank those pilots and all bombers. They were skedaddle. They were the people, 7 hours. Listen, I want to thank unbelievable. And I gave them a medal. It was very good. But although we're honoring, we have Sylvester Stallone and Tom Cruise. But I will tell you that they said for 22 years, sir, our predecessor
still on
this. The approval to do. They said, sir, we loved it. Then some of the people I know, the job they did, Lockwood, who's a highly respected young man, to speak to you. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them. Unlike Biden, he didn't take questions. But I take...
Why? Whatever.
Take all the questions you want. You can ask me any damn question you want. And then we go and have a great Thanksgiving, because I don't know about you. You probably had your dinner already, but I didn't. And I know exactly what I'm going to have. Turkey. Okay? I believe it's turkey. So, Lieutenant Colonel, if you would, you take over. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. We're going to pass it over to Major General David Gardner from the United States Army.
Happy Thanksgiving, President Trump. This is Major General Dave Gardner, the commander of the 101st Airborne Division and your Joint Task Force Southern Border.
That's right.
I appreciate you saying I was tough. Everyone cheered. I assume that means they agreed with you. We are headquartered in Arizona.
Is this part anything, or should I just skip to the questions?
Members with me today represent over 10,000 deployed along the 2,000 miles of our border from San Diego to the Gulf of America. We support Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Border Patrol, and as you said, Mr. President, illegal aliens entering our country is at a historic low thanks to our collective efforts. Thanksgiving meals. Appreciate you, President.
Like that, because you appreciate what we're all... And this is Mexico. It was called Gulf of Mexico. And they have AP, Associated Press, very badly in a lawsuit. You know, they tried to get it stopped because you saw we beat them from Mexico. I wouldn't. Gulf of America, David. The Gulf of... Isn't that great? Event taking... They're just talking this routine. It's called now the Gulf of America. So I'm actually very glad you...
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Great job. Please.
Sir, before we go on, do you have any questions for the President?
Yes, Mr. President, this is Sergeant Major Anderson. I do have one question, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you were to place a wager between the Army and Navy football game, who would you put your money on, sir?
You know, David, I think you should dock him. That's a terrible question. That's how he'll get me in so much trouble. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll be going, you know, you have one of those teams is having a spectacular year, and one of them, they're both doing well. But I'll be at the game. And I'm going to let you know right after the game who's going to win. It's going to be a good
That's emblematic of the entire Trump policy.
game, and you're going to be watching it. I'd love it. That's a place where we get a lot of cheers when we go in. You know, we won the military vote in the largest number ever gotten by a president, by far, despite the lies that they said about me. You know, they make up stories of lies. They're disgusting people. But we won the military by the biggest vote in the history of our election.
Yeah, nothing like calling members of the media, Democrats, presumably that's what he's talking about, disgusting people in front of our military. That's awesome.
So I like the military, but I like the Navy, and I like the Army a lot. And I'm going to be at the game, and I don't know if you're going to be there. You're pretty far away, but we'll be thinking about you. And I'll be thinking about that wise guy question you just asked me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, sir. With that, we're going to go over to Major Ross Gilchrist from the United States.
Okay, I'm skipping the questions.
Mr. President, you met tonight.
Thank you,
sir.
Projecting strength and lethality across the
Thank you very much. And I don't know if you know, we have more planes on order in terms of government by the previous disgrace to our nation. And I would say it was the most difficult time, and it was too big to rig. But the biggest was that they went after a lot of great Americans. I was one of them. And I would say weaponization by my opponent was a disgrace to our nation.
Again, this is in front of the senior military members, all right? Like, any other world would say, oh, he's trying to curry favor, bring the military over to his side because he's going to try something. But we're all like, well, it's just Trump.
And I would say it was the most difficult time. And we won. And now today I'm in Florida, but generally I'm in the White House, I'm in the Oval Office. So I look around and say, oh, well, couldn't have been that bad, but it was. It was a disgrace to our nation, and it should never be allowed to happen again. And it's being looked at very strongly. But it's a very interesting question. I don't know that anybody's ever asked me the question that way. But if you did, I would say it was the most difficult. My Americans, time I won probably weapon.
President, and happy. Good evening, Mr. President, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Senior Airman Laurent. I'm an intel analyst at the 28th Bomb Squadron. My question for you today is, what is the most memorable obstacle or hardship that you've encountered in your life, and how did this shape you to be the leader you are today?
His thing was the Democrats. Oh, my God. This is...
Wow, that's an interesting question. But I'll tell you,
especially for someone born with a silver spoon up their ass, Jesus.
Would be the weaponization of government by the previous administration. That was probably the biggest obstacle. I won by a lot. I ran a second time, I won by a lot. And I ran a third, today I'm in Florida, but generally I'm in the White House, I'm in the Oval Office, so I look around and say, oh, well, couldn't have been that bad, but it was. It was a disgrace to our nation. And it should never be allowed to happen again, and it's being looked at very strongly. But it's a very interesting question. I don't know that anybody's ever asked me the question that way. But if you did, I would say it was the weaponization and illegal weaponization that they used where our government attacked the president and the former president of the United States of America. And I was fighting for you, not just for myself. I was fighting for you. I was fighting for everyone that I'm looking, all of those incredible patriots that I'm looking at, but the millions of people that are listening right now and the hundreds of millions of people in our country, and we fought and we won, but they're bad people. So thank you. That's a great question.
In front of the military.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, with that,
Sir, one last one. If you could throw
Yes.
up CHOP, it's our to the Mohawks. That's our squadron motto, CHOP.
Oh, good. I love it. Chop. See, we're not allowed to do that anymore. You know, we're not allowed. You're not allowed to use the word Indian anymore. The only one that wants you to are the Indians, all right? I don't think you should ever change. I will never tell you to change, all right? It's great. And they're very proud of it, too, by the way. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Sir, we're going to turn it over to Captain Ryan Weber from the Space Force.
Okay. Oh, and as you know, Biden came in, he wanted to terminate.
Oh my
Space
God!
Force.
Every
He thought it-
single time I skip forward, it's about Biden. Dude, Biden is rent friggin' this guy's head. Holy shit! Oh my God! Every single question is, "Will Biden? Will Biden? Will Biden?" Is he that insecure that Biden beat his ass in an election in 2020? Oh my God!
It was funny. He thought it was so funny. The military didn't think it was funny, and he was met with a great force. And the force said, "You're not doing anything. You're not doing this." But I think it's going to go down as one of our most important. You know, it's as technology goes. The things we're doing now in space are unbelievable, and I think it'll be one of the truly great things that this administration did. I did it in my last term, but we really had great people there, and we're dominating space now. We're dominating it. We were losing it to both China and Russia at the time. We had no Space Force. And so we created this
NASA,
incredible
which
group
you
of people. They came
defunded.
together and they created something very special. And I'm very proud of all of you for being involved. It's going to be one of the most important things I think that I've ever done. Thank you.
Ryan, before we move on to the Coast Guard, does anybody from your team have a question for the President?
The one question I would have, sir, is what do you see for the future for the Space Force? How do you expect it to grow as we build out as a branch?
I just think it's unlimited. I think it's, you know, in terms of technology, in terms of, you know, the others have been here for a long time. And Air Force has been, and I could have left it in the Air Force, but I really thought it should have its own identity. And it works closely with the Air Force. But you wouldn't have had your own identity, and I don't think it was working doing it that way. So we created, because of the importance, we created Space Force. And I think it's got unlimited growth potential, and maybe at a faster level than others because they have been here. You know, they've seeded and they're doing great. But you're a seedling. You're just at the beginning of your powers. It's going to be unlimited future. Really, I feel that. And I think you agree with that. But it's going to be unlimited future. And thank you all for being involved. Very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the 18th, thank you for your support and happy Thanksgiving.
Well, you have my support totally. And you too. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
So to round it out, we're going to go over to Lieutenant Commander Alex.
To have some trivia.
In charge of, we have 11 of them being built right now. Russia has 48, Finland and some, and they're going to be delivered very soon. Actually, they're moving along very quickly. They're building them, and you'll end up with 11. But before we even start that, we're going to end up doing another 11 pretty soon. So you're going to have a lot of icebreakers pretty soon, which is very important. I assume. Is that important for the Coast Guard? Because if it's not, I'll cancel the order immediately.
Very important. Yes.
Okay, good. Then I won't cancel the order. That's good. You're going to have the best icebreakers there are, so it's really great. Very important to us. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes.
I'm Petty Officer Riza. First question is, what is your true golf handicap, not according to fake news? And
oh, my God.
Are you and President Biden
Please.
going to play that golf match?
I'd love to.
Oh, my God. Why not?
I mean, I've invited him, but he doesn't want to show up. Look, I know a lot about golf. I've won 38 club championships, and I don't get to practice much. I won one last year. I won a club championship at a big club, beating a 27-year-old kid. I said, you know, I'm decades older than you, but I said, the fairway doesn't know how old you are as you walk up the middle, and he's in the rough. And I've been a good golfer over the years. I won, when you win, you know, club championships are our majors. You know that. Most people can't play in them. They won't. We're talking about no strokes or anything else.
What?
So I'm a very low handicap, and I've won 38 of them legitimately, everyone legitimately. It has to be legitimate because you have a lot of people following you during club championships, as you know. So I guess I'm very I got to be right around scratch or better. I beat a +3. That's 3 better, 3 below par. You know, if you look at it for those that don't know, in the finals of the club championship last year, with all I was going through, and with no practice. So I'm a good golfer. Yeah, I would have to say that. I want to be honest. I have to be honest. I played with Bryson DeChambeau on his show, you know, the Breaking 50, and we had a good time. But a lot of people thought that was a great ratings hit, and we had a lot of fun. But golf is great. It's sort of a microcosm of life. And you have a lot of people talk, but they can't play, like Biden. Biden can't hit a ball 30 yards, I'm telling you. I looked at his swing. He cannot hit a ball 30 yards. He said he was a 6 handicap. He said that was the only thing that made me angry during the debate with him. He said he was a 6. I said, you're not a 6. And he said, well, I'm an 8. I said, that was quick. I picked up 2. But he's not 100. He's not 100. So, but it's a great game, and I hope you guys get to play a little bit of it. But frankly, I'm more excited about the icebreakers, if you want to know the truth. So anyway, I want to thank you all. Great job. Coast Guard, great job. We're proud of you. You're going to have the best equipment in the world, and it's coming rapidly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for support, President.
So that concludes the presentations. If you have any closing remarks, that'll be it.
Well, I do have closing remarks. I just want to say how proud I am. You look at the people that we just dealt with. These are the top people in our country. These are just beautiful people inside and out. They're brave. They're smart. They're brilliant. And I just want to say it's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to be working with you. We have the strongest.
Wait, well, I thought there was press questions at the end of this. What? Yeah, okay, there was. Why did Forbes cut it
All
out?
Afghan change.
Came in unvetted. Smart. They're brilliant. Said, you're not doing any. You're not built right now pretty soon. Yeah, made me angry. Country.
A question about this.
Hello. We can cut that then. Thank you very much. Okay. We can cut that then.
Hey, how's it going?
We can cut that. Hello.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
A question about this tragic shooting in Washington, D.C. U.S. officials say that the suspect worked very closely with the CIA in Afghanistan for years, that he was vetted, and the vetting came up clean.
He went cuckoo. I mean, he went nuts. And that happens, too. It happens too often with these people. You see him?
With these, so, like, he's kind of right on people do kind of just go nuts sometimes. That is a thing that happens. That is true. Both the Biden admin vetted this guy, then the Trump admin vetted him again. Neither of them, presumably neither of them saw anything to, like, deny the asylum claim over. Then this happened. I don't know.
But look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other. And that's an airplane.
The White House banner covers that so conveniently. In the Forbes stream, we were able to see that underneath here, it's just likes and retweets and posted date. And he's folded it back so that it doesn't show that it's Twitter. It's a screenshot of a tweet.
A lot of others in this country.
Oh, yeah, there you... hold on. Trying to find a clear frame of it. Come on. Yeah, okay, that's pretty clear. You can see that's just what's displayed under a fucking tweet.
Others in this country, we're going to get them out.
Also, I'm in Discord.
But they go
if you wanna
cuckoo.
hop in.
Something happens to them.
Your DOJ IG just reported this year that there was thorough vetting by DHS and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
Gotcha.
Because they came into on a...
Sorry?
Brought into the U.S. and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
Oh my god. It's just in a uncalled for, really. Man, Trump does this, but Obama wore a tan suit, so ugh.
Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're stupid.
And then these people, they're people that fought with us, fought for our interests in their home nations, and we vetted them. I don't know. There's not much else to say.
Person, and there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in, and they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked. There were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak.
Source?
Once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go. We were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision, and we would have left from Bagram, and we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles.
All this shit about what he could have done and would have done had he been president, had he yada yada yada. And people just buy it, full stop. Part of the reason that Afghanistan extraction was so, I guess, bungled is because Trump left a shit plan in place. They had to scramble to salvage. Whatever.
But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But they were incompetent. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. President, thank you for having us here tonight. Have you spoken with Sarah and Andrew's family?
We have a call in a little while, actually, right after this.
Do you plan to?
Well, the family is devastated, as you can imagine. But we have spoken. I mean, my people have spoken with the family. We'll be speaking tonight. Tomorrow. You have to give them a little. They just found out about their daughter. You can't just call 2 seconds later.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very, very tough situation.
Obviously,
She was so outstanding. I mean, I just heard outstanding in every single way.
it's in the early stages, obviously, but do you plan to attend Sarah's funeral?
I haven't thought about it yet, but it certainly is something I could conceive of. I love West Virginia. I won West Virginia by one of the biggest.
Is it selfishness? Is it what is it that are you planning to attend the funeral? Are you going to go to West Virginia? Yeah, I'll go to West Virginia because I won that state by a lot. Setting, man.
Sarah's funeral.
Jesus.
I haven't thought about it yet, but it certainly is something I could conceive of. I love West Virginia. I won West Virginia by one of the biggest margins of any president anywhere. And it's, these are great people. I love the people of West Virginia. I love the people of our country. But I haven't given it any thought, but it sounds like something I could do, yeah. It's very raw.
Yeah, of course. The suspect does have a wife and 5 children who live in Washington. Do you plan to deport them?
The suspect has?
The suspect?
Well, we're looking at that right now. We're looking at the whole situation with family. It's a tragic situation. Yeah, Jeff?
Mr. President, are there any changes you want to make to improve safety for National Guardsmen who are being sent into these cities?
No.
Don't send them into the cities. That's not what they're there. That's what they're supposed to be. That's the safest thing.
I want to have more. As you know, we're sending 500 more. We had very little crime in Washington now for many months, record-setting low crime, and this happened. And I don't know how you put this on the scale of that. This is sort of different. This is a terrorism threat, and this was done because they're so effective. If they weren't effective, you probably would.
As an intimidation measure, yeah, sure, why not?
Have had this done, but this was done because the National Guard has been so effective You know, you went from having a tremendous amount of crime and death, killing, everything else, to having none. And this happened, I assume, because it was so effective. And maybe this man was upset because he couldn't practice crime. Who knows what?
He's from Washington State. I don't know.
His motivation was, but what he did was horrible.
And you've made changes for Afghanis' ability to apply for asylum. Do you blame all Afghans for this one man's not
No,
mistake?
but we've had a lot of problems with Afghans because they had a lot of them coming in on these planes. Again, I show you this picture. We had a lot of
Our foreign policy is based on tweets. Fucking mint.
them coming in on these planes that are. Look at them. There was no check-in. They just poured into the plane, and many of these.
Do you have to check them there? It's not like TSA. You can check them when you get to the U.S., man.
These people are criminals. Many of these people are people that shouldn't be here, and many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out a lot of the people that we've taken a lot of them out of here. But they came in.
Legally, right?
Yeah, I know the old story. Many are wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure.
I said many are here legally, though. What should they think in terms of their prospects?
Well, they can't be happy. Okay, they can't be happy because what's taking place between that. If you look at Somalia, they're taking over Minnesota, and we got a lot of problems with the gangs, with all of the things taking place in Minnesota. We have an incompetent governor.
First of all, okay, whatever. But that's from Somalia. These are Afghanis that fought with us.
Dope. We have a dope governor. They can't be happy about what's going on. And if you talk about the Afghans, there's a problem because so many bad ones came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, but whoever the strongest, they got on the planes. There was no check-in. They just swamped the planes. They took off. We had no idea who they were. Yeah, do you want to ask a question behind?
Me? Hi, sir. Happy
Sure.
Thanksgiving.
Hi.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
How far has the bar fallen where this is like a normal thing to be saying in front of the country? That's so bizarre, man. I don't know, like a government could be not great or not running well, but that has nothing to do with the quality of the people there. What the
is being floated. Of course, you just detailed that this suspect was flown in under the Biden administration.
Yeah.
But was he granted asylum under your administration?
When it comes to asylum, when they're flown in, it's very hard to get them out. No matter how you want to do it, it's very hard to get them out. But we're going to be getting them all out now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President.
It's okay, just
Yeah,
dodge.
take that picture if you want it, press.
Mr. President, what are you most thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Nobody wants his picture. Oh, oh man, poor guy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
Here, take that picture if you want it, press.
Mr. President, what are you
Wait, we can probably see what's on the back of it. Yeah. This is investigative journalism. I can't really tell. It doesn't go any higher quality. I don't know.
On the press.
Mr. President, what are you most thankful for this Thanksgiving?
The fact that America's great again. We made America great again. America was a dead country. We made America great again. Here you go. Got it?
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy Thanksgiving.
I think it's emblematic that he's like, hey, here's this thing that convinced me. This should convince you, too.